And so now this is not an active shooter situation anymore. We do know the shooter is dead, but that investigation is ongoing. And the way the scene has changed since we've been watching, it's been expanded. Our crews have been pushed back farther away from Old National Bank. So we do know that this investigation scene keeps getting bigger. And now we're going to check in with Mark Vanderhoff. Mark, what's going on where you are?
Well, I'm over on Preston between Main and Market, closer to Market Street, where a lot of the traffic is being routed around because, as you can imagine, the intersection of Preston and Main is shut down. So if you are planning on coming downtown, stay away from Main Street by Slugger Field. We've got a lot of residents and people in the area over on this end as well, because right behind me over this shoulder is an apartment building. So some folks were just out and about. One couple told me that they were at breakfast, and they received the alert on their phone like everybody else, and then realized as they were coming back that it was right across from where they live. So a lot of people are just kind of waiting, hoping to learn more information. Of course, as we just heard, 5 dead, 6 injured. Among the injured is a police officer. Now, where I am was a lot busier when I first arrived, but there was a moment where several police cars left. I have to say, in a bit of a hurry. They left pretty quickly, and over time, more and more police have slowly started to filter out of this area. I would imagine that they'll be here all day, but at least where I'm at, some of the police presence is slowly starting to thin out, but of course still people waiting to see if they can get back to their apartment, and hoping to learn more about this incident. Guys, back to you all.
Thank you, Mark. An incredibly sad day for the city of Louisville. In checking some social media reports, people are just heartbroken. A lot of people who have no ties whatsoever to the bank, no ties to the victims, but just sad and, really upset that this is happening in the city of Louisville.
We feel for those families and friends and people who knew the victims and the people who were hurt in this. That is 6 people hurt, including 1 officer. 5 people are dead. We feel for them, and we hope that we can all come together on this day and come out stronger. But there's a lot of work to be done. Until then, that investigation, we're looking over the scene right now in downtown Louisville. This all happened at the Old National Bank building.
Yeah, we know 6 people were injured as well, but the extent of their injuries, the severity of their injuries, that is unknown right now. So we are hoping to potentially get an update. We are told that at 11:30, we will hear from LMPD again. They've already given us one briefing, but hopefully we'll hear more. And it would be wonderful if we could get an update on their injuries at 11:30. But Attorney General Daniel Cameron tweeting as well this morning, please pray for all who've been impacted. And thank you to the brave men and women of our law enforcement community who are responding to the situation. We have tweets from several lawmakers, state representatives. I think we just read one from Representative Keturah Herron just moments ago as well. This one is from Representative Keturah Herron. This is happening around the country in a city daily. Today was our turn in Louisville, Kentucky, as we hold our community tighter. There must be outrage and anger. We live in a war zone, and we shouldn't have to.
Lots of people are feeling these same things as we report live on this about what happened in downtown Louisville. We are going to send it. Our crews are out on the ground. We're going to send it to Jamie Mays. She is live at U of L Hospital. Jamie, what are you seeing?
Alex, Carey, you can see right behind me there's this chopper that just landed. As you know, earlier today we were told there were 5 people killed, 6 people who were injured. We're still trying to get an idea of the extent of the injuries of the people who were inside that bank. Right now you can see the police presence beyond the chopper here. There were several cops that were here just a bit earlier today, kind of pacing around, waiting on their phones. We're still waiting to see if people are coming into the hospital or leaving out right now, some of those families that were impacted. So we're going to stay out here for most of the day today, all of today, letting you know what's happening, giving you a better idea of the people who were hurt, just how bad those injuries were. Reporting live, Jamie Mays, WLKY News.
Thank you. Jamie is live at Louisville Hospital, and our chopper HD is hovering over the hospital right now, where we know that 6 people were hurt and taken to the hospital, including 1 LMPD officer. We're not sure the extent of those injuries or how serious they may be.
Yeah, we are told that we're getting another briefing, another update from LMPD at 11:30. Hopefully we can get a better idea of the injuries of the 6 people who were transported. And we really, are hoping and praying for the best for those people as they recover. And hopefully we do not add any more
pain,
any more deaths to this 5 people confirmed dead already.
Carrie, it's 10:36 right now. This is going back 2 hours ago when police first got that call at 8:30 to the shots fired call at Old National Bank. And we also know that people inside were calling their loved ones at that time. And I'm sure they never imagined being here 2 hours later that something like this would actually be happening to our city. Once again, the shooter was found dead as police arrived at Old National Bank. 5 people lost their lives in this shooting, and 6 people hurt and taken to the hospital, including 1 officer.
So while it may not be an active situation as far as the shooter is concerned, we still know it is an active investigation.
Right.
So we want to make sure you are avoiding that area this morning. So essentially no danger to you driving in that area, but still just a heavy police presence. A lot of roads are shut down this morning. So it would be in everyone's best interest if you would avoid that area at this time.
Working in that area, living in that area, and some people who I'm sure are at work or at home may not be able to get out of downtown right now. So this is a terrible situation for everyone involved.
Yeah, and our Minaj Kungwari, he has talked to a witness, but not only that, he has seen people in the area, some who may have worked inside the bank. So we were talking about, 5 of their colleagues are dead this morning, which is just a scary thought to think that you could go to work and then something like this could happen in your place of employment, right? So we still don't know anything about the shooter. We don't know exactly who that person was or what was their motive. But, our focus, our energy is on the victims' families right now because they need the most support at this time.
This is a terrible moment for our city, and we are hovering over what seems to be U of L Hospital, where we know 6 people were taken from downtown Louisville, the Old National Bank area, to U of L Hospital. And we know that they are hurt. 1 is an officer. We are going to send it over to our Minaj Kongwari. Minaj, is there an update on what you're seeing right now in downtown Louisville?
Well, I can tell you that the police presence, the first responder presence here is still just as high as it was when we first got here. And I'll step out of the way so you can kind of see. As a matter of fact, a new truck just came in here. It looks like a tow truck from LMPD. We were told that all of the cars that are currently inside this perimeter that they've set up have to remain. So although a lot of the people in businesses here, or maybe that live here, they might have their cars in this section, we're being told that they can't move any of them as police are still working this scene. It's currently still an active scene. As you mentioned, I know you were just talking about the person who I interviewed who gave the account, whose wife worked inside the bank. I can tell you that it's been emotional, not just from witnesses, but just regular people coming up. We're seeing a crowd, people that live in the area, people that work in the area. They're coming up, they're asking questions, and as soon as they find out the information, you can just see the look on their face. Guys, this is a big deal here in Louisville, especially given the fact that this is on Main Street in downtown. A lot of people come here, frequent here, and so as you can imagine, this is a pretty intense scene right now. And of course, we're still working to get more information. I tell you, we're all the way back here about 3 or 4 blocks from the scene. So hopefully, maybe we can get more people to come, or maybe we can see if we can get more information. But until then, we're just going to stay on scene here and see if we can try and soak up more information for you guys. I can tell you that police will be giving another update in about an hour. We'll, of course, be there, and you can find out exactly what they say right here on WLKY News. But for right now, I'm live here in Louisville. Minaj, WLKY, back to you.
Thank you, Minash. And again, we know there are 6 people in the hospital right now. One of those is an LMPD officer. We can only hope for their survival, that they would recover from their injuries. We don't know the severity, the extent of those injuries, but we do know that this was a shooting inside Old National Bank, and we have seen the images, the very scary images of the front door, the front windows of the bank. I mean, just dozens of bullet holes and shattered glass along the front entrance. So to think that the shooter, made his way into the building that way and caught so many people off guard.
Right.
We did hear from the witness who said his wife was able to hide inside the vault.
The vault at the bank.
But the fact that 5 people are dead tells us that not everyone was so fortunate to get out of the path of that shooter.
We also don't know exactly. We're seeing a tweet now from Charles Booker. Multiple deaths reported in a shooting in downtown Louisville. He says he's praying for those families receiving the most horrible news this morning, praying for my city.
And now let's get back over to WLKY chopper pilot Bill DeReamer. Bill, I was asking you a little bit ago if the scene had cleared out at all.
No, absolutely not. What we're looking at here, the street that goes from top to bottom, that is Preston Street. To your right there is Sluggerfield, and then of course the building there to your left is where Old National Bank is located in. We've been showing this shot throughout the morning. That the steps that are on the right there, if you follow those up, you can see the shattered glass.
Thank you, Chopper. We just got word that police are planning to give us an update a little earlier than we expected, 11 a.m., so we're waiting for about 20 minutes for the next update on police. At the last update, they really broke down exactly what we have seen here in downtown Louisville this morning.
Yeah, we were waiting on them to confirm any deaths, and sadly they did that. They confirmed 5 people were shot. And in the next news conference at 11 o'clock, we are expecting to hear from Mayor Craig Greenberg, and we're also expecting to hear from Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who tweeted earlier that he was en route to the scene.
And praying for everyone involved. As 5 people have lost their lives today in downtown Louisville, 6 people in the hospital right now at U of L Hospital. 1 is an officer. And right now we're circling the downtown area where this is most concentrated. That Old National Bank building, Sluggerfield, is being used as kind of a command center where people are gathering to work on this investigation. Our crews have been pushed out a couple of blocks every which way, but they are there trying to gather the most information that they can to keep everybody informed today.
And we're going to get to our Mark Vanderhoff, who is on the scene as well this morning. Mark, it's tragic. It's a sad day for the city of Louisville.
It really is. Growing up here, having lived through standard gravure and everything, I mean, this is just so much worse. Or I shouldn't say so much worse, but it just feels like, we hear and see so many of these nowadays, and to be here covering it is pretty emotional for me personally. I know it is for all of our other reporters as well. I'm here at Preston between Main and Market. I'm closer to Market Street where there's quite a bit of traffic, and that's because Main Street behind me has been closed off, as you can imagine, between Jackson and Floyd. So if you work downtown or had plans to come downtown, make sure you avoid that area of Main Street around Sluggerfield between Floyd and Jackson. Now I'm standing right in front of a police line where they put out some yellow tape. And earlier, there were quite a few people gathered all around me. There were some residents of a nearby apartment building over there who were waiting to get back to their apartments. And there were also just people who were curious. But I think it got to the point where there were so many people gathered here that police actually moved them back over to Market Street and set up a new police line over on Market Street. They hung some new tape. There was actually at one point an individual who went behind the police line, and things got a little tense.